welcome into my workshop. Today I'm working on one of the many wildlife sculptures that I've been working on in the past, and today this is a Cape buffalo with a lion, and I'm just adding the finishing touches to this. But today what I'd like to show you how to do is we are going to be doing a shark, and I will show you how to do this from start to finish. I'll show you how to make the teeth, the eyes, and we'll be doing some scenery. We'll be creating water, and I will show you how to paint that from start to finish. And you can use different types of clay here. There's this oil-based clay that you can use that never hardens, which it's a good clay to use because it's fun. It comes in multiple colors, and you can do a lot with it. When I was very young, I used to use this clay all the time, and I loved using it. Then the other type of clay that you can use is an air hardening clay, which will harden like after a couple of hours or overnight. And you can buy these in a regular art store. But my preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, because I can fire it in the regular oven at 275 for 15 to 20 minutes. It becomes hard, and then I can paint it. And it's great to work with. So what I would like to show you today is I do have another shark that I had made in the past, and I will show you the concepts we will be using to make the shark today. As you can see here, there's like 2 rows of teeth that I made in this shark. And the concept to make the teeth today, I'm going to show you how to put about 10 teeth in the shark's mouth. And it's this very similar concept. So I'm a big fan of all kinds of animals, especially I love the great white sharks and watching Shark Week, and I'm sure there's a lot of little boys and girls out there that like to watch the same thing. So what we will be doing today is the clay we'll be using. We're going to make two very small balls of clay about this size. And right here, it's very tiny. We're going to be using those for the eyes. So I have about 2 of those. The next size, this will be the upper part of the jaw. So this is the size ball clay that we'll be using for that. And then for the lower jaw, we'll be using this size ball of clay. And then we'll be making probably approximately 10 teeth. There'll be these smaller balls of clay, such as this, that we'll be using. And then one of the other tools we'll be using today will be a piece of tin foil. And we'll be using that. We used that last week for the first time, and I will show you how to use that to make the texture on the water. It gives you incredible results. So for the first part of the process, we are going to take and we're going to mold this piece of clay into the shark's mouth. So what we do is, I'll show you, you mold it with your hands like this. You're going to kind of I'll show you, you're molding this into the shape of a shark head. And then what we do is, like we did last week, we're going to make indentations in the clay like this for the shark jaw. So we're going to just use your hands and your thumbs, and you just make that indentation. So we're going to rotate this, and we're going to make this, we're just going to look at it. And you just kind of rotate that. And then I'm just going to make little indentations like that. And we'll put that on the table like that to kind of flatten it out again, tap it on the table. And now this is the shape that you should start to have. If you look here, you're starting to take the shape of a shark head. That's what it should look like from the front. It's kind of got like that point. That's what it will look like from the side. This is what it will look like from the bottom. You'll see how we made all those indentations? And this is what it will look like from the top. Another thing that I like to do too now is I want to make sure the shape looks all right. So I'm just going to kind of mold it. And another thing I like to do is take and just kind of smooth out the shark head by taking my thumb and running it along the clay like this. And that looks like it's about ready for me to make the teeth. So I will take one of these little balls of clay, and I'm going to take and I am going to mold that into the shape of a tooth. What you do is you flatten it out like this, and as you can see, it's a very triangular shape. We will take, and I'll keep working it like that, and you make that triangular shape. And what we would do is I will place that in to the shark's mouth just like this. And what you do is you kind of work that in with your thumb. Or I like to use my thumb. You can use your other fingers, but you just work that tooth in like that. And you can see how that will work into the mouth. And then we will take and I will make another tooth. And we will make that. And that tooth there, we're going to place that right there to like the side. Because we're probably going to put a total of about 5 teeth in the upper body, or the upper jaw there. I will take and I will make another tooth and sculpt it like this. You see, you make that triangular shape. It's really cool because see how that's what the tooth looks like from the side. This is what it looks like from the back, the side again, and then the front. So it's very, you just want to make it nice and have a nice flat look. So I can work that into the mouth, and what we will do is we will place that right here, and you just kind of work that in with your thumb, and that will, so that's what it's starting to look like. You can start to see how the teeth are being put into the mouth. So, and we will proceed to put in all 5 teeth in that fashion. And finally, we will put the 5th tooth into the upper jaw. You can see I'm working that in like that. And I'm just going to look, make sure I got it in there. So when you're looking at the teeth, that's what it will look like from this angle as you're looking right into the mouth. This is what it will look like from the side and the front. So you can, it's got a really cool effect now. You're starting to see those teeth be developed. So the next step in the process that we will do is we will make the lower jaw. So I will take this ball of clay here, and we will start to sculpt that into the shape of the lower jaw. You can see, you know, just work it with your hands. Clay is a lot of fun to work with. You can manipulate it, and you can make a lot of cool things with it. And you know, it just takes practice to keep using it. And we will do like we did before, too. I'm going to just take and tap this on the table to flatten it out. And then what I like to do is kind of just see if it looks all right with the other part of the shark. Because we're going to eventually put those together like that. But I just want to make sure that I have the right shape and it's approximately the right size. So we will proceed now to make the teeth for the lower jaw. We're going to put 5 teeth in the lower jaw. So you take and you make this triangular shape again. And then we will proceed to put that into the mouth and just work it in with your thumb like that. That way the tooth won't fall out. And I will we'll make another tooth. And you make it triangular. And we will place that in there like that. And we will proceed to make a total of 5 teeth. Finally, we will put the 5th tooth in the lower part of the lower jaw. So you have a total of 10 teeth, 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. A shark usually has more teeth than that, but I'm just, for the purposes of showing you how to do this and learning how to do that, that's why I'm limiting the number of teeth. So then the next step in the process that we will do is we will take and we will squeeze these 2 pieces together like this. And what I will do is we'll work the clay together like this. We'll start to take the clay and we'll work it like this. That way the 2 pieces are put together and they stay together. And then what we will do is we will keep working it like that. So you start to see that the shark's jaws are really starting to take shape now. Another thing we will do is I want to take this, as you can see, we're going to tap it down or tamp it down again. So I want to just tap that on the table to flatten it out so it won't fall over. It's kind of got a nice little base now. But this is what the shark jaws should look like right now. As you can see the teeth. And don't worry if the sizes or the proportions are a little off. It just gives you the idea of how these things are made. So the next step in the process, I will take one of these little pieces of clay and we're going to make the eyes. So I'll roll that in my fingers, and then what I'll do is I'll squeeze it almost like a little pancake. I'm going to take and squeeze that like a little pancake. We'll keep it nice and round. And then we will look, I try to look at the shark's head, and we'll put it approximately right there on the shark's head right now. So you take and you put that right there. And that's where the first eye will go. I will take the other little piece of clay, this little piece of clay here, and we will take and we'll make that into another little pancake type shape. Excuse me. And we will take and we will look at the shark, and I'll try to place it approximately in the same location on the other side of the head. So we will take and push that into the side of the head like that. As you can see, they're approximately in the same location. And then the next step in the process is I always like to work on the nose. So we will take and you make a little nose indentation like this. You kind of make it like a little curve, like that. Then you take and you do the same thing on the other side. Make that little squiggly line. So that's what it approximately should look like. Approximately. We'll look at that. Yeah, it's close. If it's a little off, don't worry about it. You can always go back and fix things afterward. And then another little thing I like to do too to add realism to the jaw is kind of scrape this part right here. Just take the toothpick and kind of just make little marks like that going across the mouth. And we have the shark head. The next step in the process that I like to do is I like to take and we are going to roll out the foamy part of the water, basically. You take and you roll this like this, and we're going to wrap this around. I'll move this out of the way. There. You roll this like this. Another thing you can do too to speed up the process is just kind of try to lengthen it with your hands like this. Just kind of work it. But you know, the process I'm showing you here, you can make another animal that you're probably all familiar with, a snake. So if you want, I like to just roll this really quickly, like this. You can roll it like that. You make a point on the tail. And then what you would do for the head, you kind of make the neck a little narrower, and then you make the shape of a snake head, kind of almost like this, like that. You know, and if you wanted to, it's very simple. You want to give them eyes. Same thing what I showed you last week. Take and you spin like that. You do it on the other side. You do approximately the same side. Spin it. Then for the nose, you would just go make a little indentation there, a little indentation there, and then you could do his little mouth. As you see here, we can make the little mouth. Take that, and then you would do the same on approximately the other side. And that's what it would look like. You have a little snake that you made. But these are just some cool things. You can take the clay and make just about anything you want. But I wanted to show you, the techniques. You'll be able to see how all these techniques will tie together, and you'll be able to make various animals with different things. And there's a lot of similarities. But what we would do, I will destroy the snake now, and we will continue to make a little ring, and I'll show you how to make the white foamy water around the shark's head. What we will do is we will work the clay like this, and we'll make a ring. And what I like to do is periodically test it around the shark head to see if I've made enough or see how far I really need to go. So I think what we will do is, I think I need about this much clay. We will pinch off the rest of the clay here and put that over here. Because what we would do is, it's approximately the right size now. We are going to take and we're going to wrap this around the shark head like this. And I'll show you, we're going to work that like that around the shark head. And that's approximately what it should look like when you're looking at it. And what I also like to do on the bottom too is, you're going to take and you're going to work this clay in like this, so it becomes part of the shark head. Because if you don't do this, it won't attach properly, and you might run into problems later when you try to pick it up. And so we will take and we will work. I just want to make sure that I work this in good. And, you work that in with your fingers. And so it's pretty much done. Now, what we are going to do now is I will put this on the table, and I will get the piece of tin foil. And what we're going to do with the tin foil is, you want to crinkle it up. Tin foil, you can get this out of your mother's closet. You might have a little pantry at home where your mom keeps all these things. And we crinkle up the tin foil, and what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to dab. We're going to dab the clay like this. You can see, you go around, you dab, you pull out, and then dab, and it makes a nice little texture, and that's going to be like the foamy water around the shark. When the shark pops out of the water, that's where you see like the white water or the foam. So what we would do is we continue to use the tin foil, and we dab. Very cool effect when you're done. You just keep dabbing all around, and that's what the white foamy water is going to look like. You just kind of dab. You might give a little twist too. Give it like a little slight twist, when you're dabbing like that. So this is what the white foamy water will look like when you're looking at the shark That's the texture that we just created. It's an incredible thing what we can do with the tinfoil. It's just a basic item, but it creates some really cool stuff. So the next step in the process we will take, and I like to just have a little extra clay around at all times. So this time we're not going to have the little clay balls. We're just going to kind of add clay as we want. And we're going to take little pieces of clay, and we're just going to add them to the shark, around the shark head where we made the white foamy water. So you just add a little bit like that. And we're going to go all the way around the shark head. So we're going to, you just kind of just work that in with your fingers, like that. You know, it doesn't matter if it's even or not, because what we're eventually going to do is we're going to make this into like little waves and things that are around the shark head. We will take and we will work this in here. I'll do it from that side, that way you can get a good view of what I'm doing. And we're going to do that all the way around the shark head. Yeah, very, very cool effect when you. So what we want to do now is I will place a little more clay here. We just work that in. See, just kind of, it's good. This is good too, because you get in practice with how the clay feels and how you can manipulate it and all the different things you can do with it. We will pick this up, and I will proceed to do the other side. And it just, you want to work it in really good. Make sure it's attached, because it makes a nice base for the water. And I just got one more little piece to put here, and we should be in good shape. But now, what you want to do too is we don't want to lose what we had done before, so we are going to go and we're going to re-tap this area here with the tin foil again. You're going to go all the way around the shark head again, and we're going to just tap that again, because, you know, when I just placed some of that there, it may have done some damage to the work we had previously done. And just turn that around, and we're just going to dab that again to make sure it looks good. The next step in the process is we are going to take and make like little swirly marks in the clay now. We're going to create the effect of water. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of tin foil, and I'm going to take it here, and I'm going to drag it. You know what I'll do is I'll try to do it from this side. You want to take and kind of like make little swirly marks, drag this back and forth like that, and it creates the effect of water. This will be like the little waves and things. So you just kind of take and you make like little swirly marks, and you go all the way around like that. So you go back and forth. Now I want to show you the effect that we just created. You see how we have all the little swirly marks in the clay? That makes beautiful water. And it's a great effect that you created. I'm sure some of you kids are going to be doing dioramas for school, and you can use this to make water with the clay. It's just a fantastic effect that you can create. This is one that's been fired in the oven. What I am going to do is I'm going to show you how to paint the shark head and paint the water, you know, and create those really cool effects that will make a diorama great. I'm sure some of you might have to do a shark for school or something, and I'll just show you how you can do the water, and it will create some really cool effects tonight. So what I'm going to do is I like to get acrylic paints. You can buy them in any art store. There's about 18 in this package, you know, and what we will do is we will proceed to use about 6 different colors from this package to paint this shark tonight. And I will show you what colors we plan to use. What I did is I always like to have a plan of action. We're going to use black, we are going to use blue for the water, the black is for the eyes, the gray for the shark color, red for the mouth, and we're going to take blue for to create the highlights in the water, and we're going to take the white. And what we will also proceed to do is, I just want to move some of this extra clay aside. We have different types of brushes, and I'll show you what types of brushes we're going to use. For most of like the painting the teeth, some of the finer details, the eyes, the teeth, the mouth, we're going to use some smaller brushes like these. You're going to see these are the various sizes that we will use. You know, when you want to do eyes, you want to do something like with a brush this size. But then I also have a brush for when we do the water or the shark body itself. The brush is going to be a little thicker. And we'll use that one for the shark body. Tonight I just realized I have another brush that I can use for the water, and it will make things a lot quicker. There's another much thicker brush, as you can see here, and I will proceed to use that one for the water. Well, the first step that we will take is we'll take the red, and we're going to paint the mouth. What I like to do is take your brush, and we're going to paint the inside of the mouth here like this. You just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. You're going to go back and forth like that. And then what you will do too is we'll also flip the shark head, and we'll try to get it from the top. So you'll paint. You'll go back and forth like that. And, you know, just take your time. And you just continue to proceed to paint the mouth like that. You can see some of the red color in there now. The next step in the process is we will take and we will paint the teeth. What I like to do is take the white, and I'll show you how to paint a few of them, just to give you the idea. You look inside the shark mouth. What I usually like to do first is paint like the inside of the shark tooth. You probably have to do a couple of coats of paint in order to make them look good. So what you do is you paint it like this. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. But you take and you'll paint the inside like that. And then you'll proceed to paint. Just go back and forth with the paint, and you'll proceed to paint all the teeth white. That's basically the manner that you will use to paint the teeth. The next step in the process, I'll just show you a little bit of each step. That way I can show you what the final product will look like, and you can play around with it. The next step we will take is we will paint the shark body, I think. That'll be, and what we do is we're going to paint that gray. So we're going to take this gray color here, and we're going to take and we're going to paint the shark the gray color. So you proceed to paint. Just go back and forth with your strokes. You know, don't worry if you get a little paint in some of the other areas. You can always paint over things. That's a great thing about, and you just kind of paint like that. And you'll proceed to do the same thing for the top part of the head. So what we'll do is we'll take and we'll paint the top part of the head like that too. You don't want to paint the eyes gray. We're going to take and you're going to paint the shark. So you're going to continue to paint it like that. And then you're going to paint the back of the head. I'm not going to show you the entire thing, but just you get the idea. You're just going to paint the entire shark head just in that manner. So the next step in the process, I will show you how to do the eyes. We will take the black paint, and we will take, and I'll show you how to paint the eyes. This is really cool with the eyes because a shark's eyes are really, really cool. So we're going to take and we're going to paint the shark eye like that. Just take your time. Paint it like that. And that's what the eye will look like. It's really cool now. It's starting to take shape with the paints and things, and you can see what you need to do. The next step in the process I like to do is I want to take, I'll probably end up using one of these brushes again. I'm going to clean it. And we are going to take, and I'm going to use that for the white. We're going to take the white paint again. We're going to take and we're going to paint with the white, and we're going to paint the area around the shark head white. So you're going to take and kind of go like that. You're going to go all the way around the shark head in that manner. You're going to paint that white. You're going to, as you can see here, you paint that white. You go all the way around on the band like that. I'll just show you part of it. And you'll continue to proceed around and paint the entire band white. So the next step in the process will be we will paint the water. What I like to do in this situation is we're going to take the very wide brush that I had from before, because this will speed up the process. You take this brush here, and we're going to paint over the water now. So you take, and you just go back and forth with the brush strokes. Back and forth, back and forth. And you're going to do this, dab it in, get it real nice. And you're going to just go back and forth, and dab it in really good. So now you can see the texture on the water and everything. It's just, from all the swirl marks we make, it looks like more realistic, and it looks like water now. So you take and you do the same thing, and you continue to paint blue all around this area here. I'll just show you part of it. You want to, in that manner. The next thing you will do is you will take, and we're going to create like little swirly marks with a very light blue paint. So what we'll do is I'm going to take this light blue paint, and we are going to take, and we are going to make like little, we're just going to dab ever so lightly what we had done. So you're just going to take and kind of just run the brush along it. Just kind of take, make little marks like that. You want to take, kind of maybe do a little dab like that, little dab, and just kind of swirl it along. You just take and just swirl it along in some places, and you dab it. You're also going to do the same thing up here where you did the white. You just kind of make a few marks here and there, and you dab it. It creates lights and darks on the water. So I will show you what the final product will look like, and that is this shark right here. As you can see, all the little swirly marks and things that were made, and then dabbing it with the light blue water, the light blue paint, it gives it the effect of the lights and the darks in the water. And I also did the little dabs of blue on the foamy water around the shark's head. And it creates a very realistic looking effect for, you know, the shark being in the water. And I think what I've shown you here today, you'll be able to use this for school, and you'll probably amaze some of your art teachers and things with some of these techniques. You just take things, when you break things into very small steps, you can have some really incredible results. And the techniques I showed you here today on how to make the teeth for this shark would be applicable to, I'll show you again, the great white that I did years ago with these teeth. But someday I'll show you how to do how you can work at that same level. You see, you got the big teeth here, but the little teeth, there's some really cool tricks to make the teeth that small. But I'll show you that another time. And I think that you have some really cool things you can practice this week. So I think what I will do now is I will proceed to get back to my sculpture, and I will continue to add the finishing touches. And I want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay, and I look forward to seeing you next week.